Hi guys, this is Ruchi from Easy Peasy Gardening, and today we are going to talk about different types of planters. So in the market, you have all these different varieties of planters and you don't know from where to choose from. So we have ceramic planters, we have fabric planters, terracotta planters, metallic planters, plastic planters, and simple nursery planters. So there are many different ways you can decide which planters do you want. So the first is just the looks. The second is cost. And the third is what is easier for you. And the fourth is, what is good for the plants. So first, let me tell you the advantages and disadvantages of each type of planters. So, in the ceramic planters, they look beautiful. They are pretty heavy to handle, but they look so beautiful. They come in different colors and they have a lot of sometimes engravings on top of those. So uh, they look beautiful, but they are really heavy to handle. And although they are made out of clay because they are glazed, they are not permeable. I mean, it's not that, the water evaporates from the side of the plants. Then there are fabric planters. These are the fabric planters. They are made out of recyclable fabric, and they are, of course, if you want to put them away, you can just fold them and put them away. They're easy to handle. They normally have these handles on the side, so you can just pick them up like that. The main advantage of the fabric planters is, first of all, because this is permeable. If you put excess water in it, it comes out of the side or the bottom, so you will never have this problem that your plant is sitting in water. So excess water will never be an issue. But the main advantage is that when the roots of the plants they hit the side of the planter, they are exposed to the air and then they stop growing. So this is called air pruning. So then the plants are not spending a lot of energy in just growing the roots. They grow, the plant on the top of the soil, it grows well. So that is the advantage. One disadvantage I see is that although it is easier to handle, when your plant becomes big, it kind of becomes unwieldy after some time because there is no structure to it. So sometimes it will bend to the side. But if you have smaller uh, planters in fabric, I think that is great. For terracotta, this is made out of clay. It is heavy. It has normally, one hole at the bottom. And again, in this planter, the excess water is never an issue because it either drains out from the bottom or even the surface of the terracotta, it evaporates water. So, it is never an issue. The soil is never too wet. They get chipped very quickly and they are heavy to handle. But other than that, they are great for your plants. Then there are some metallic planters, which I don't really think, I mean, they're very light, they are cheap, but they're not that popular. The only metallic planter that is popular these days is, metallic raised beds, because for the size of the raised bed, it is pretty light and it doesn't rust and you can just move it easily from one place to another. But the main disadvantage I see with metallic planters is that if the outside temperature is cold, then they'll be really cold, and if the outside temperature is hot, they'll be really hot. So, the roots are not protected by the planter. Either it gets too cold or it gets too hot. So I really don't like metallic planters, but I just wanted to let you know it's cheap and it's easy to handle because it's very light. And for plastic planters, of course, they are lightweight, they are cheap, and they come in different colors also. So they're pretty good. And then you have, your vanilla nursery planters in which you get the plants. they have a lot of holes at the bottom, so good drainage. They don't look that great, but they're pretty sturdy and lightweight, easy to handle, and they are very, very cheap. So this is the cheapest, then probably these two, and then these two, and then probably the ceramic planter. So if you look at it from the plant's perspective, probably the fabric planter is the best because, as I said, it promotes air pruning. Plants don't grow the roots excessively. In all these planters, as soon as the roots hit the wall, they start growing in circles all around it, and then it becomes root bound. It doesn't grow that much on the top, but a lot of roots grow there. So from plant perspective, this planter is probably the best. Now, the second is which one is easier to handle. Now, of course, these plastic ones and metallic ones, they are really lightweight and they hold the shape. So these are the easiest to handle. But even this fabric one is easy to handle. These two are quite heavy, so if your requirement is of small planters, then it's good to have ceramic and this because they look nice. But other than that, probably for bigger planter, you definitely want the plastic ones or the fabric ones. The third thing is the cost. As I said, nursery ones you get it for free, plastic ones are pretty cheap, metallic ones, I think I won't recommend the small ones, but the big ones, because the raised bed, the big metallic raised beds, they are pretty good. And these are also not that very expensive. The fabric ones are not expensive. Ceramic ones are the most expensive ones. So you choose, what you like. And then from the looks perspective, the best is of course the ceramic one because they come in many different colors and shapes and sizes. And even terracotta, it looks pretty good. Plastic one works too. So then you have to see what you are looking for. So for me, if I have a big plant, I don't want to plant them in heavy planters because I just cannot move it. So I prefer plastic ones. But then if you wanted to put something at the entrance of your house or maybe inside the house, these plastic ones don't look that great. So then what I do is that I buy these ceramic ones, the ones which don't have holes, and then I grow my plants in the nursery planter and I just put it here. So now my plant looks good. I don't need to move the planter. I just put the plant in here, and suppose this plant is not doing well, I take it out, I bring another plant and put it here. So that's what I do for all my indoor plants. I use the ceramic planters like this. So I put them at strategic locations wherever I want some plants, and I just keep replacing the plant inside. Now these planters, they come in this is 1 gallon and there are 5 gallon and 10 gallons. So depending on the size of the plant, you can just bring that and put it in the ceramic plant. So that works best for me for outside because ceramic planters are pretty expensive. Maybe you don't want to put them in the garden. If you have a garden, you probably want to just plant the plants in the ground. So I have a few metallic planters like this, and so what I do is that I use them inside because inside the temperatures are always moderate. So there's no problem of temperature becoming too much or too little. So I just use them as the outside container, and I bring my plant in the nursery container and just put it inside. And for outside, I can use these fabric ones or the plastic ones, and I have some big terracotta planters also, but then I don't move them at all. So I hope this video was useful to you. If you have any questions, leave a comment and I'll try to answer as soon as possible. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to share it with your friends and family. And I'll see you next time. Happy gardening. Bye.